They convicted Daniel Reyes of murder in 1994. The jury took 4 hours. He got 25 to life. Then in 2019, a property clerk in Fresno County opened a sealed evidence box to log it for disposal and found a cigarette butt nobody had ever tested. The DNA on it wasn't his. So why did the case file say every piece of physical evidence had already been fully processed and exhausted, 25 years before that box was ever touched? The official story was simple, and for a jury in 1994 it was enough. Priya Chandra, 26, was found strangled in her apartment on Delmer Street. Reyes was her downstairs neighbor. He'd been seen arguing with her 2 nights earlier. A partial palm print on her doorframe was called a match. No alibi for the window between 11 and 1. The prosecution built a clean narrative: jealousy, opportunity, proximity, and closed it in one trial. Reyes maintained his innocence through sentencing. Nobody outside his family listened. The cigarette butt sat in evidence box 7, item 14, logged the night of the murder from the fire escape outside Chandra's window. The original report called it unrelated debris, non-probative. In 1994, no one ran DNA on non-probative debris. The technology existed, but budgets didn't stretch that far for a case prosecutors already considered solved. The box sat in a warehouse annex for 2.5 decades, one shelf over from 300 others marked for eventual destruction. When the clerk cross-referenced the disposal list against active Innocence Project inquiries, a routine check, nothing dramatic, Reyes' name flagged. The box got pulled instead of shredded. The butt got swabbed. The profile came back male, and it wasn't Daniel Reyes. Here's the contradiction the trial record can't survive. The palm print, the print prosecutors called their strongest physical evidence, was never actually confirmed by an independent examiner. The original analyst, a technician named Ellis Vance, testified to an 11-point match, but the courtroom exhibit only shows 9. 2 points were added to his written testimony, not his sworn chart. Nobody caught it in 1994. Under CODIS retesting protocol in 2020, that same print was rerun, and it excluded Reyes outright. The ridge pattern didn't align at the joint, which means the clean narrative jurors heard had no forensic evidence left standing. Just a downstairs neighbor with a bad temper and bad timing. The reason this took 25 years isn't mysterious, it's procedural. California didn't mandate DNA retesting on closed convictions without a formal motion, and formal motions require funding, and funding requires a case getting flagged as high priority. Reyes' case wasn't. His appeals were denied twice, in 1997 and 2003, both times on procedural grounds: missed filing windows, not merits. The evidence room itself required a court order to access post-conviction, and no judge signed one until the Northern California Innocence Coalition took the case pro bono in 2018. Before that, Box 7 was, functionally, unreachable. Locked not by a door, but by paperwork nobody was required to file. But the cigarette butt wasn't the strangest part of what they found in that box. Underneath it, still sealed in its original evidence envelope, was a second item. A torn shirt button collected from Chandra's bedroom floor, logged but never entered into the trial exhibit list at all. It doesn't appear in the prosecution's inventory, the defense's discovery request, or the judge's evidence log, 3 separate records, and it exists in none of them. When technicians tested it in 2021, they recovered the same male DNA profile as the cigarette butt. Same person. 2 different pieces of physical evidence from 2 different locations in the apartment, neither disclosed at trial, both pointing to a third man who was never named, questioned, or investigated. 1 overlooked object is an accident. 2, undisclosed, matching each other, that's not an accident. That's a decision someone made. If both items had reached the jury in 1994, there's no clean path to conviction. No physical evidence tied Reyes to that room. The palm print collapses under re-examination. The 2 DNA sources point somewhere else entirely. Reyes was released in 2022, 28 years into a sentence built on evidence that didn't hold up and evidence that was never shown. The DNA profile has since been run against the state database. No match. Whoever left it on that fire escaped, and that button on the floor has never been identified, and the county has never explained why the button was left off 3 separate official inventories. Daniel Reyes is free. Priya Chandra's real killer has never been named. And somewhere in Fresno County, the person who decided a shirt button didn't belong in the file has never had to explain why.